What's going on, people? It's Emmanuel for Altenor Media. Now let's get into some discussion about episode 9 of Atlanta, the Robbin season. This was called North of the Border, I believe. So we started off this episode with PaperBoi and Earn. They're going to do a show at a college, and it's gonna get really testy, and it's gonna be fun this episode. So in this episode, they're going to do a show, but this show, they're not getting paid for it. They're just doing it for free. And they don't even have a hotel. Earn is telling PaperBoi that this is going to set up for the future. If he does this show, next year he'll be able to do Spring Fling and make $60K. But now we're starting to see the change that Alfred went through from the Woods episode, where now he's thinking about the future. So Alfred wants to get paid. He's not really about doing a free show right about now. So that really starts off the tension for the episode. That's only heightened when Tracy decides to join the whole party. So he's tagging along and he's playing security. So Earn sets them up at this girl's apartment where they're staying at. She ends up being a complete weirdo. She says some weird story about, PaperBoi being a bird and her a crocodile and she eats him. Some craziness. And they end up, after they perform, they run into, the other young artist from the Yoo-Hoo commercial. And they're chopping it up. She ends up going partying with him. And then he runs into some two college girls who are, they're fans. They admire his work, they admire his attitude. He's talking to them, and she drops some water. She catches them from the top of the stairs, and she drops some water or liquor or whatever on Alfred, PaperBoi, and his security man Tracy just goes crazy. He ends up almost pushing the woman down the stairs, but Earn catches her. This starts off a crazy sequence where they're like running throughout the campus because Tracy ends up punching the woman's brother. So they got like the whole black campus chasing them. So they end up at a white frat house. And they tell the white frat house they just finished performing at this place. And this part really shows kind of the disconnect and probably the segregation that goes on these campuses, because the white frat dudes don't even know that this festival or concert was even going on the black side of the campus. So they get inside and they start smoking with the white frat dudes, and they got a big Confederate flag in the background on the wall. And then they have pledges where they have sacks over their heads. They're basically looking like slaves. And then the white frat brother starts talking about rap. His favorite rappers are PaperBoi and Post Malone. He's talking about, different rappers who are his favorite rappers. It's kind of weird the way, stereotypical, white boys, say, they're a fan of this, they're a fan of that. And then he actually plays the Laffy Taffy and has them dancing to it and all that. So it has the pledges dancing to it. And so that was just a weird sequence. And and this scene is where Earn and PaperBoi, their work relationship reaches a real boiling point. Because this instance where PaperBoi lets him know that Earn may not be cut out to be his manager, because he has bigger aspirations. He knows he needs money, and he should be making money. He shouldn't have to wait till next year to make that 60K because he's already hot. Everybody knows who he is, so he should be making that now. And Earn is not the dude for him. So and I'm not mad at PaperBoi at all, and I like what he's thinking. Even if Earn is not his manager, I think Earn is still gonna eat with him. He's still gonna have, Earn by his side in some capacity because that's his family. He even said himself, he's trying to ride it out, just because Earn is his family. And even then, he's doing this because he knows he has to eat, and he knows Earn has to eat too. So if he decides to drop Earn, he's doing that, for Earn also. So he said he's been talking to, the other artists, the you guys manager, about possibly managing him. So Earn is like, of course, Earn doesn't feel like it's his fault. He feels like he's doing the best job. So this really sends Earn over the edge. And so when they go back to their cars in the morning, I think they spend the night at this white frat house. So they go back to their cars at the girls' apartments, and everything is towed up. The car is towed up. So, PaperBoi flips out a little, but then Earn just takes it to a whole nother level. This was a funny scene because Earn is usually trying to calm PaperBoi down, and PaperBoi was like, you could see the shock and a little bit of the fear in his eyes, that Earn was just wilding out, banging on the door because they took his laptop. And PaperBoi is like, please calm down. He's trying to calm Earn down. So this was hilarious. This just shows, the change that has taken place and how far Earn has fallen. This goes even further to where Earn is in the car and Tracy is like pushing his buttons, not purposely, but Tracy is just being Tracy. He's a crazy dude, and he's saying Earn, kind of like saying Earn set up this crazy weekend and got them into this trouble. So Earn is not happening. Earn is just telling him to shut up, and he keeps going, and he pulls out the gun that he stole from the frat house on Earn. It wasn't loaded, but Earn was in the mood for it. He just got fired basically, and that's like all he has. All he has is PaperBoi. He doesn't have anything going on for him besides managing PaperBoi, so he's already devastated. So he tells Tracy, come out the car, we fighting. PaperBoi's like, no, chill. He says no so many times, and Earn insists, so they get out the car. Earn plays Dukes up. Tracy is like, no. Tracy, he knows he's not trying to fight Earn because he knows he can destroy Earn. So eventually they fight. Earn won't give up. Tracy beats him down. They get back in the car, and Earn gets back in, and they're just sitting there. Earn has fallen so far from grace. But I think now PaperBoi sees that, he even says it. Money is important. And he's going from being real to saying, money is important, and it is. You need it because the people around him have to eat. Even if you have a certain way you want to live your life, when you got people around you who want to eat, you feel like you have to do what you have to do to feed them. So yeah, this was a real good episode. It was a nice change of pace from the Teddy Perkins and the Woods episode from last week. So this was what I really like about the show, that they know just when to pick up the pace. This was fun, even the chase scene, the colorful clothes, the the college scene. You know, they had the silk pajamas on, just like TLC in the Creep video. Or it reminded me a little of that episode of Fresh Prince when BBD was filming the video at the Banks' house and Will and Ty tried to sneak in the video. So this was real cool. I've noticed that once they have a really, really slow, not slow in a bad way, episode, they usually follow it with a fun episode. Just like they followed episode Teddy Perkins with Van's episode at Drake's Champagne Papi. You know, they followed Woods with this episode, which is real smart because you want to change the mood a bit. Well, anyway, I really like this episode, so we're looking forward to the next episode, which we will be reviewing next week also. So make sure to check back with us for episode 10. Yep. Anyway, I'm Emmanuel once again. Make sure to like this video, comment, let me know what you thought, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.